Welcome into episode 8 of season 25 of Laker Connections. Kenny Gerard, Lucas McGarry.
Hello,
Lucas,
hello.
We're all dolled up. NFL draft night.
We got a lot of props tonight. Got my Steelers flag. I have my housemate's Packers jersey. I have my World Championship that I won this past Saturday. And I have Rex. And I have a Steelers helmet that I have had for a couple of years now.
I brought me, myself, and my jersey.
Which is that Michael Strahan?
Yeah,
That's
Strahan.
a classic. That's
That
like
far
one of the
back.
best
Yeah,
ones.
Strahan.
I mean,
It
can't
is
get better than that.
No, it is a good jersey. Well, let's get right into it, Lucas. Lucas, it is
Absolutely.
once again time for us to recap last week of Laker sports, and this episode's Laker recap, Women's Lax.
Absolutely. Kenny, this game was an absolute classic. The Lakers traveled to Cortland for this duel, and they showed no fear as once again Alexis Hill would open up the scoring, and we were off from there. The Red Dragons fought back and answered with a goal of their own. Right back, Alexis Hill scored again, but it was answered again right away from Dragons Sydney Elizalde. But then the Lakers would go on to score 3 straight, and that's the closest the Dragons would get to beating the Lakers. It was the defense that held up once again, as Cortland was held to just 2 goals per quarter through the first 3. Going into the fourth, it was 9-6 Lakers, and the Red Dragons would do everything they could. After going down 11-6, a fire would be lit under them as they would score 3 in a row, and in the last minute, 3 goals would be scored. 2 by Caitlin Tietigen of Cortland and 1 by Alexis Hill. That would end up being the deciding factor as the Lakers would win this one, 12-11, clinching the top spot in the conference.
Ain't nothing better than back-to-back in that top seed this year. It was a huge game. You can see clearly in the video right here what was at stake in this one, and it was the number 1 seed in the conference. I think Oswego came off of it last year. Cortland was a team that had beaten Oswego. I think it was literally the first time last year. It was the first time they beat them at all. And to come back in a back-to-back seasons, defeat them, and take that home field advantage for the rest of the playoffs, knowing they were already in the SUNYAC semifinals was great, but knowing that if you can get through the semifinals, beat the lower remaining seed, you have an even easier route in the playoffs, and then have the chance to host a championship for back-to-back years, huge. So great game for Oswego. At this point, I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I think it's going to be a great series.
Yeah, it just shows that once again they are the best team in the conference with 2 resounding wins over the best 2 teams in the conference for the last 2 weeks of the season.
Well, let's talk about men's lacrosse now. The men's lacrosse team continues their late season surge, taking down New Paltz 15-10 in a high-stakes battle at Laker Turf Stadium. For 3 quarters, this was anyone's game, and the Hawks fought back from an early deficit to knot things up at 8-8, heading into the final stretch. When the pressure cranked up, the Lakers responded. Oswego dominated the fourth quarter, ripping off 6 goals to leave the Hawks in the dust. Garrett Elston was the absolute story of the night, tearing up the nets with a massive 6-goal outing. Dorian LeClaire and Ethan McConnell chipped in to keep the defense guessing. The win bumps the Lakers to 9-4 on the season. Lucas, big win to keep the SUNYAC postseason hopes alive, sitting at 3-3 in the conference. Now take me through it.
Yeah, absolutely. A really big win over a strong conference team. Very nice pronunciation of LeClaire there. I saw you take a second to pronounce
Sometimes
it.
taking a second is worth it. Oh, my microphone.
That's mine. No, I was very impressed because I know you were talking about it earlier, but yeah, that's a very...
I trained myself to say it, and I forgot what I trained, and it just took a second to go, oh yeah, that's what it was. So.
But no, a very, very strong win for the Lakers, especially when it's needed. It moved them now to just 500 in conference, and they're sitting on the edge of elimination right now. So they need to keep winning out if they are to finish it. They have 1 more game against Potsdam, and that will be the deciding factor if they are going to be in or not.
Yeah, this team has just been pretty good in the late stretch. I mean, they had a couple of bad losses that really put them in a bad spot because right now they're currently on the outside looking in, but we will talk about that in the week ahead.
Absolutely.
So take it over to the Diamond now.
Yeah, no doubt. The Oswego softball team split with RIT as they seem to have cooled down a bit from their insanely hot start. In the first game, Alyssa Budzinski was on the bump, and I think that tells all. RIT was only able to manage 3 runs scored against Budzinski, who pitched a 5-inning complete game. On offense, the bats were hot as the Lakers would score 11. Emma Budzinski would go 4 for 4 with a home run, 3 RBIs, and 4 runs, while Delaney Wiley added a home run herself, going 3 for 4. Lakers win 11-3. In Game 2, however, it was very different. RIT scored 6 in the first, forcing the Lakers to go through 2 different pitchers before landing on Lindsay Hamora. Hamora would do her best pitching the full 5 innings, but not before giving up 5 more runs throughout the game. And on the offense side, there was nothing, as RIT pitcher Jessica Majote pitched a gem, allowing just 1, and RIT would win 11-1, so a very up-and-down day for the Lakers.
I think up and down is a good way to put it. I almost want to say I'm a touch confused because you go to Game 1, you absolutely dominate, and then Game 2, you just get whacked. So, I mean, it feels very non-super professional baseball. Like, I mean, working in AAA, I see it all the time where Game 1 of a doubleheader, you have your star pitchers out there. pitcher battle or a huge win because you have a good pitcher out there. Then you put in your B squad pitcher and it just blows up or goes to a bullpen game. So I don't know. I mean, they are cooling down, but they're still good. They're still in the playoff hunt. Nothing is set for softball. I checked earlier, so everybody is still could be in, could be out. Plenty of games left to be played, but it'll be interesting to see how the season shapes up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The softball team is still looking strong, but I think you need a second pitcher behind Budzinski because after her, they really don't have a strong second option.
Agreed. Let's go to baseball now because it was a tough afternoon in the diamond for the baseball team as they dropped a tight road contest to rival Cortland, falling by a score of 4-3. The Lakers came out swinging and jumping ahead early with some clutch hits, but the Red Dragons managed to scrape together the deciding run later in the inning to take the win. Despite the loss, Oswego showed serious grit coming off a dominant weekend sweep of Fredonia, where the pitching staff posted back-to-back shutouts. Pitcher Jonah Rivera has been a bright spot on the mound lately, while Daniel Winchester continues to be a force at the plate, driving the offense with consistent power. Lucas, tough loss to the best of the best, but they are already locked in at the 2 seed. What can they take from this one?
I think you just got to move past it. Cortland's the best for a reason, and unfortunately, they're going to stay the best. And going into the playoffs, you got to have the mind of a goldfish. I mean,
they're only the best if they win the SUNYAC.
Very true. But as of right now, that's where they're looking at. So you got to have a mind of a goldfish. You got to move on and move into playoff mind because they have shown the ability to beat the best teams. They've already beaten Cortland this year earlier,
which was a shocker.
as we saw. It was a very, very big game, which shows that they have the ability. Sometimes they don't show that ability at all throughout the season, and this time they did, which I think is the biggest shown of momentum that they can have, and that is a huge, huge factor. But again, like this, in a game like this, you got to have a mind of a goldfish.
We'll see what they do with it. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time to look ahead on the week ahead. You're watching Laker Connections right here on WTOP 10. $50. You better watch out.
You got swat you like a bug.
That is like not.
You stole it? Welcome back into episode 8 of season 25 of Laker Connections, your only place for all things Laker sports. Kenny Gerard, Lucas McGarry. Get right into it, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We talked about the past, and now it's time to look ahead with this episode's week ahead. Lucas, let's see what's coming up this week in Laker sports. Start us off, women's lacrosse.
Well, after 2 standout wins to end the season against New Paltz and Cortland, the Lakers for the second time in a row are perfect in conference, claiming the top seed. Now, they play the waiting game as the 1 seed grants them a first round bye on Saturday. New Paltz will host Buffalo State and Oneonta will host Fredonia to decide the Final Four. The Lakers will host the lowest of the seeds on Wednesday, April 29th. The Lakers have all the momentum in the world right now, finishing the season on a 10-game win streak and beating the next 2 top teams in the conference in their last 2. That's thanks to a slew of players, most notable Alexis Hill, currently 3rd in the SUNYAC in points and goals, 82 and 60 respectively. Behind her is the dual scoring threat of Aubrey Green and Cassidy Croce, who have a combined 75 goals on the season. And on top of that, their defense allows less than 6 goals per game. Whoever draws the Lakers on Wednesday is in for a very rough showdown.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it early on in the show this season, and it was about, we were a little nervous because they lost a couple of those preseason games to teams like Clarkson and stuff, but man, it just didn't matter. They got the conference play, and they absolutely rolled. They won their last preseason game, and they won the next 9, and all of them in conference. That's a 10-game win streak going out the season. Great start. I mean, what that puts them at, they started at 2-4.
Yeah.
So they started at 2-4, ended up at 12-4.
Ridiculous.
Really good, strong ending to the season. And again, I think you said it best. Whoever draws them for their second round game in the semifinals, tough team to play, but I think we're set up for another good showdown in the conference finals. I'm going to go with Oswego Cortland, I think.
Yeah,
But
very exciting, and we will be able to host pending an Oswego win in that second round. That'll be a championship game right here in Oswego once again.
Take care of business.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the men's lacrosse team now. The regular season comes down to this. After a thrilling win under the lights on Wednesday, the men's lacrosse team hits the road for the finale against Potsdam this Saturday. The Lakers are riding high with a 9-4 record, but they need a win against the Bears to make the dance. Oswego's offense has been on a tear, led by the hot hand of Garrett Elston, who is coming off a career-best 6-goal night. The key to a win in Potsdam? Sticking to the fundamentals, winning the face-off battle, and keeping the ball out of the middle. Potsdam always plays tough on their home turf, so expect a physical battle from the first whistle. For the Lakers, it's all about momentum. A win here secures a slot in the SUNYAC playoffs. Lucas, it is officially win or go home. If they win, they're the 4th seed. They lose, they're going home. How can they punch their ticket?
Yeah, I mean, for the Lakers, they just need to play to the best of their ability on all fronts. They need to play to all of their strengths. They think they need to put a ton of shots on goal early, because that is how you're going to take advantage of this Potsdam team. They are a very, very solid defensive squad. However, they can be taken advantage of early, and if you got guys like Elston, you got guys like Coney who can start ripping shots on goal, you got a really, really good chance at winning them and clinching that spot. Because like I said, Oswego, closest team to elimination right now, they need this win so, so badly if they wanted to be in. And they got to do what they got to do.
Well, just noting from the full screen, the conference record for Potsdam is wrong. It's actually
It is
4-2. So if Oswego wins, it puts them at 4-3, and that would put Potsdam also at 4-3, which would give the tiebreaker to Oswego on head-to-head. They're dead even in record. This is going to be a very close game. It's going to come down to goaltending. I think Oswego allowing slightly more goals per game than Potsdam. It's going to be a close one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm very excited, though.
Me too.
Let's move on. Softball team will travel to New Paltz tomorrow for a doubleheader. Well, they'll take on a juggernaut of a Hawks squad. The Lakers have still been playing strong with a 7-3 conference record, but the Hawks have just been better with an almost perfect 11-1. The Hawks are better than the Lakers in almost every category, but this will come down to individuals. On the Lakers, it's Kira Wright, who's hitting a SUNYAC leading .453, but right behind her is Ella Chirac, who's hitting .448 for the Hawks with a SUNYAC leading 7 home runs. On the mound, Alyssa Budzinski still rules with a SUNYAC low 1.35 ERA and a 10-2 record. But she'll no doubt be taking on Alex Frenza, an 11-5, 1.96 ERA dealing ace who has a SUNYAC best 106 strikeouts. However, New Paltz has additional aces, Morgan Smith, who's 7-2 with a 1.42 ERA, while Leah Gonset is 4-1 with a 1.97 ERA. With one of them to surely be on the mound in Game 2, can the Lakers counter the impressive depth the Hawks have in that Game 2?
Hopefully we can counter in our graphics department and put a New Paltz logo that's not invisible and isn't the lacrosse logo. But anyway, back onto the diamond. No, for Oswego, man, we said they started really hot, and they've kind of gotten a heat check here. They've slowed down a little bit. I think if they can beat New Paltz here, I think it can set them up for success getting into the postseason.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think this team is still really, really strong, but this is their biggest test without a doubt. And if they can even get one win out on the day, it'll be really impressive.
Well, let's go over to the baseball team now. The baseball team looks to bounce back this weekend as they return to the Lakers. Well, that's not right. For a high-stakes non-conference clash. Whoops, I wrote the wrong thing. After a heartbreaking one-run loss to the rival Cortland on Tuesday, the Lakers are hungry to reclaim their winning ways. The action kicks off this Saturday with a doubleheader against the Utica University Pioneers. Oswego's pitching staff, which I talked about earlier, has been the backbone of this team, and recently, with multiple shutouts, will need to be sharp to stifle a potent Utica lineup. Offensively, look for Daniel Winchester to lead the charge. He's been tearing the cover off the ball and remains the Lakers' biggest threat in the heart of the order. The SUNYAC semifinals looming just a week away. Every inning counts, and the playoff bracket is still yet to be set, but Oswego sits into 2. What do they got to do to get, I don't know, just be ready at this point. There's not much else that can happen. But
this is a really good game going into the playoffs because it doesn't matter in terms of conference standing,
right,
but it does matter in terms of skill. Obviously,
yes,
you see that this team is relatively similar compared to the Lakers in terms of record. much better hitting team, as you can see. Got a really good 307 team average. But Utica is obviously a team that is strong in every single sport they play in. So a team like them really going to put up a good test against the Lakers. And I think for them, going into the playoffs, this is exactly what they need.
Just two teams trying to refine before they get to the postseason.
No doubt about it.
Again. They already beat Cortland once. They look good. We'll see what they can do. But we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be looking at the NFL draft. You're watching Laker Connections right here on WTOP 10.
If only we had someone who could tell us what we should and shouldn't watch.
Well, do we have a show for you?
Who are you?
What are you doing in my bed?
On Be Kind and Rewind, we will go through and review all your favorite movie franchises.
And tell you which ones you should and shouldn't watch from the perspective of normal movie fans. Well, be sure to check out Be Kind and Rewind on WTOP 10. Go home, that's 3 hours from now!
Maybe that's the best thing you can do.
But after he gets possessed,
his show becomes a smash hit.
Now he's got the greenest show on WTOP 10.
A lot of green going on tonight.
We'll be holding on forever.
don't miss the limited run of
those great people being.
If you like action, romance,
if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
surface is this?
Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Welcome back into episode 8 of season 25 of Laker Connections. Kenny Gerard, Lucas McGarry.
Hello, hello.
Let's get to the fun part.
Draft
Let's
picks.
do it. Lucas.
I don't want to.
Like the great Mariah Carey once said, it is the most wonderful time of the year, and I'll add my little rendition. It's the most wonderful time of the year for people, fans of football teams that suck. The NFL Draft Day is here, and our teams made their first round picks. Let's break down our team's choices and chat about what surprised us as well at the end. Lucas, let's start off with the New York Football Giants' 5th overall pick, Arvell Reese. I am happy.
That's a good pick.
I think it was a phenomenal pick. I'm not upset about it. Again, if he was on the board, you take him. He was is the best in his position, the best linebacker in the draft out of Ohio State. I mean, he had a 92 PPF grade, so I mean, or
position
PFF
rank
grade.
1, overall rank 1. I mean, he's top of his class.
He
comes out of Ohio State. Their linebacker U, their defense U. Any guy that comes
move your flag out of the way. I'm hearing a lot of rubbish.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
Anybody that comes out of Ohio State on defense is a solid pick. So for the Giants, good for them, and it should definitely work out. And I think he's going to get some playing time right off the bat.
Now, that was the fun one. Let's go into the one that really peed me off bad.
Was it Caleb Downs? No,
you're funny, right?
Oh,
you know you're funny.
Not. Sorry,
you're really funny.
You're
really funny, Lucas. No, it's Mauigoa, Francis Mauigoa
from
Miami.
I put it in the graphics.
Had a hurt back all season long, and again, now this is like we had Harbaugh, so I expected better, and it feels like a Harbaugh pick. I watched the Ravens draft, but like we need offensive line. Sure, Mauigoa is not a bad choice, but and his brother's on the Jets, apparently. I didn't know that. I just heard that in my earpiece. But when Caleb Downs is on the board, you don't do that. You just don't do, why would you pat? And then of all teams, I want to curse so bad. The Cowboys come up behind them.
Of course,
like,
of course
we're
they
going to
did.
take Caleb Downs.
Of
and
course
Jerry
they
Jones
did.
gets his dirty little fingers in it every time.
Yes, he did.
No, it was a punch in the face to take Mauigoa over Downs. Again, I think Mauigoa is going to be good. I think he's a good pick overall. But it's just the fact that Downs is there, and I'm even more salty that Downs is a Cowboy now. It was like I got slapped in the face, and then just with the Cowboys. I was like, man, that upset me. And if we could have had Reese and Downs, Are you kidding? Like, that is such a good duo. I get that we just drafted someone on defense, and we do need an offensive lineman, but there are linemen later in the draft that I think could be just as good, but especially you're rolling the dice on a guy like this, personally. I don't like the pick,
too early.
But it's not horrible.
It's probably too early, if you're asking me.
It is, and we do this every year. I was upset this time last year about Jackson Dart, and that turned out horribly. So, go ahead.
We'll move on
Speaking of being upset.
for the Steelers pick. I mean, I'm not necessarily upset, but Max Iheanacho from Arizona State, it's just another boring pick for the Steelers like they always do.
Back?
No, I did not want Carson Beck, so I'm honestly happy that we didn't get him. But no, he's a great dude. He's a great pick. He's probably going to be a Broderick Jones 2.0, which is kind of what I'm worried about happening. He's got a lot of potential, but he's got a low ceiling, which is what I'm worried about. He's our high floor, low ceiling, and I'm hoping that maybe he can pan out and protect whoever is at quarterback, because right now we don't have one. So whoever is at the QB
you know you're going to
spot,
draft
no,
Carson Beck
it's not.
right?
Stop.
You know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
He's going in the second round to the
Yeah,
Steelers.
I know. But I'm not upset with it. But I would have rather Dylan Thieneman from Oregon.
Drew Aller. I mean, you really could go anyway.
No.
Because they're all great quarterbacks.
I don't want any of them. I don't want a quarterback. But I was okay.
Did Peter Woods just go?
He did. Peter Woods, defensive tackle to Clemson.
Good pick.
Or to the Chiefs. Yeah.
Good pick for the Chiefs. Anyway, let's talk about surprises. Now, coming into this, we were just going to talk about what was like surprising, like, oh, maybe there's a couple weird picks. No. And then this happened. Ty Simpson goes to the Rams at 13th overall. That has got to be one of the most insane picks I've ever seen. They're in win now, so why? I understand Stafford's old and he's on his way out, but my God,
it don't matter though.
That's
it
early.
Doesn't matter.
And I don't think you take Ty Simpson in the first round or the second round.
He's available in the third round. I mean,
easily.
If we're being totally honest, I don't really think he's anything.
Have we not learned about Alabama quarterbacks?
Yeah, right. They don't work.
Tua Tagovailoa,
They don't
Mac
pan out.
Jones, Jalen Hurts, who people think is good. Newsflash: Jalen Hurts sucks. His team is good. So it's not the Alabama quarterback.
They don't pan out.
No.
And
Ty
to take
Simpson.
him at 13 when you got so many other needs as the Rams, and like you said, they're in win now. Just if I'm a Rams fan, I'm very mad.
I'm upset.
I'm very mad with that pick.
And Sean McVay is an absolute genius, and I think he could make it work. But my God, taking Ty Simpson is
just why? Why not wait? Take someone better.
And the other thing that surprised me was the Chiefs trading up to 6, taking Mansour Delane. I love Mansour Delane. I'm an LSU fan. I think he's a great player, but definitely a reach. But I couldn't get over the Ty Simpson. We had to talk about it. But we're gonna go to another quick break. When we come back, it'll be time for Laker Showdown. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Do you like reading? Do you like reading books? Do you like looking at books? Do you like having a collection of books in your living room?
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, spoiler alert. Okay, Lord, why did I write this in yellow? I told you. Welcome back between the pages.
Good evening and welcome to Jeopardy. I am your host, Joe.
Hello, Simon.
Joe is at this place. And I'm very concerned to see what Piper's answer is here. Sorry, it's a 98-page rule book.
You guys are stumped still?
Joe, I'm going to sound like a little snob here. It was not founded by Ray Kroc.
Welcome back, everybody. Season 2 of Oswego Lazo.
Welcome back into episode 8 of season 25 of Laker Connections. You're on for everything Laker sports, and Lucas, it is time to welcome our Laker Showdown moderator, Mr. Michael Neckers. Mike, why don't you explain to the home what it is?
Well, first of all, I couldn't bear to put a Cowboys jersey on and wear it on national television.
Don't blame you.
So, guys,
National television.
Yeah, Laker Showdown's exactly as it sounds. A showdown between two of the absolute best. Some may even say perfect. So good that I stay up at night and think about it even better than last week. Laker sports minds that this school has to offer. Give you guys 3 questions, and whatever answer I like the most for each of those questions will be rewarded a point. Words are hard. It'll be best 2 out of 3. Winner gets bragging rights till next week, and I believe Lucas leads 4.
Bills just traded their pick for people who are curious.
4-3.
Oh. Yeah, 4-3.
4-3 Lucas leads. So first up,
Titans just moved up.
You guys have been talking about the NFL draft and still are. So my first question is, what has been your best pick of the draft so far? Kenny, you're up first.
Best pick of the draft
In your
overall.
eyes, yeah.
What do you got, Ken? Take a look, take a peek.
No, because
What do
that's
you
a
see?
tough question. You know, honestly, I hate to say this. This is really not.
Give it to me.
I think Downs falling to 11 and the Cowboys snagging him is a good pick.
That's a good pick.
That's a great pick. I didn't think Downs was going to fall that far, and I think the Giants are idiots for not taking him. And honestly, I think I'm saying it out of anger. But I think you got to move your flag again. I think that the Cowboys getting Downs is probably the pick of the night so far.
I'm going to be crazy, and it might be totally wrong, but Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders could be one of the greatest things that ever happened to that organization. That guy's a winner, and I think he's going to make it work, and we're going to see. And I got so much confidence
we are not
in
friends
Mendoza.
if you go
I
with
love
this.
Mendoza.
There was
Are you
something
kidding me?
in the air that night.
Jeremiah Love would be a
Stars
second
were
pick
bright.
because
I agree. That was going between
Jeremiah Love to the
But
Cardinals.
Kenny, you're
second
right.
pick,
Caleb
but-
Downs was the steal of the draft, and I'm so happy. I've never been this excited for a draft pick for the Dallas Cowboys, so I'm going to go with you.
Good for you, Mike.
All right, next up, Oswego Women's Lax has finished the regular season, as you mentioned, a perfect 10-0 in SUNYAC play. But who has been their MVP this season? Lucas.
Was it 9-0?
9-0, my bad.
It wasn't.
It'll be 10-0 after next week.
It will be.
Lucas, take it away.
I'm taking the easy pick. It's Alexis Hill, 60 goals, 22 assists. I mean, she has
I gotta make a chalk pick.
she's third in the SUNYAC in 2 different categories. She has the leading goal scorer, or she is the opening goal scorer in almost every single game that the Lakers play. It seems like these past couple of episodes, every time I recap the Lakers, I say Alexis Hill opened up the scoring. It is Alexis Hill, no doubt about it.
Well, yeah, of course. She has 82 points. The next closest is 46.
I told you, dude.
I'll go with Cassidy Croce because 40 points
Another
is
great
also
pick.
very good. 37 goals on 3 assists. I think it's really good. But I think Alexis Hill's the right answer. It's 82 points, 60 goals.
Like
and
I
22
said, I
assists.
did say I took the easy pick.
You did.
It's the right pick.
And once you said it, I'm like, oh, crap. Who's the second closest?
And
It's not Cassidy Croce.
Alexis Hill was the right
Aubrey
answer.
Green is
One
too.
answer I didn't hear was Alana Yakovisi, the goalie. She's been holding it down between the pipes this year, done a really solid job. But Lucas takes the point, obviously.
Understandable.
Last but not least, fellas, this show has been around for a long time, longer than any of us have been here. And I've seen a lot of different men and women take a seat at this desk. But who's the best to ever do it? And you can't say yourself. Kenny, what do you got?
I can name 2.
I have a lot of friends that did this show.
I can name 3, actually.
I could probably name 4 people who have done that.
I can name 3.
Tommy Tallarino.
I can name 3.
Tommy
people.
Tallarino.
Tommy, you watching?
Tommy Tallarino, the GOAT.
I'm going to go with Zach Malamud.
Mud was my initial choice, but
Just-
I figured you'd go
I
with
watched
Mud,
Mud,
so I
and
was
he
like,
was
I need to
great.
go off of the chalk pick, because Mud is a great choice, and I love you, Mud. But Tommy Tallarino was just like my spirit animal at TOP as I became a member here, so I'm going with Tommy. Tommy T, all the way.
Both phenomenal answers. Zach Malamud, I had the opportunity to work with a little bit of my time here, 1 year together, and he was phenomenal. But I recently connected with Tommy Tallarino, and what a great guy. And for that reason, Mud, I love you, but we're going to give this
You don't even know him.
Yes, I do.
No,
We're gonna
you
give this one
don't.
to Kenny, which ties things up at
You know him by
4
association.
to
That's
4.
ridiculous.
Wow. All
Kenny
right,
takes
all
the
tied
win.
up. Well, thank you guys for joining us for the 8th episode of Season 25 Laker Connections. We'll see you next week for our last regular season episode, episode 9. Have a good night.